All right, so today we're going to gain understanding of character archetypes and their traits, and to be able to identify character archetypes in various mediums such as books, movies, TV shows, etc. You are going to want to pay attention because there is an assignment that is due tomorrow night. So basically, we're going to go over the lesson, which is archetypes. What kind of character are you? Then I'm going to explain the assignment requirements for archetypes. I know what character you are. And that will be due by Sunday instead of Friday. I'm going to give you till Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? So, but also remember tomorrow is a short day. Yeah, what's up?
We get to school at the same time.
Correct. You get to school at the same time, you leave early. Okay. So archetypes, what kind of character are you? So, today we'll be learning about archetypes. So I can already pretty much assume that you guys don't know what archetypes are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what. So like I said, I can picture that most of you would be like, I have no idea what's going on. So you're gonna learn today, and it's gonna be awesome, okay?
I guess it's Lego movie themed.
Yes, okay. I like to have themes. All right. So, what is an archetype? According to literarydevices.net, an archetype is a literary device in which a character is created based on a set of qualities or traits that are specific and identifiable for readers. Okay, so when I say that for readers, I mean worldwide. There are certain types of characters that we all can kind of pinpoint, right? Like your heroes and things like that. So furthermore, archetypes tend to symbolically embody universal meanings and basic human experiences independent of time and place. So even if I'm reading something from 4th century BC China, I can still pick out the certain character archetypes, okay? But even if I'm reading it today in a different language, doesn't matter, okay? They're universal. So in the most simplistic terms, an archetype is a character that is easily recognized because everyone knows what kind of character they are. But it is important to note that some characters can represent more than one archetype, right? So let's take like Deadpool, right? He's your hero, but he's a flawed hero, right? So he can actually have traits of other people, right? Most characters, if they're dynamic, they're gonna have more than one type of character archetype, okay? So as you'll soon see, the lines can sometimes be a little fuzzy, but as long as you can support why you feel they're that archetype, you're good, okay? So this is just a quick look. This is the chart of the different types of archetypes, but we're gonna get to it more in depth. You have your hero, your ruler, your wizard, your creator, explorer, jester, rebel, citizen, sage, caregiver, lover, innocent, okay? There are more, but this is the main ones. And so let's take a more in-depth look at what that means. So,
Do you have questions in this?
no, I don't think there's questions in this one. No, there's no questions in this one because you're gonna be doing an assignment, okay? So, first you have your hero. Their strengths are strength, courage, faith, competing against great odds, and then their setbacks is their arrogance. Okay, their motto would be where there's a will, there's a way. They're often the protagonist that rises to a challenge. Okay, their utmost desire is to prove their worth through courageous and difficult actions. Okay, we all the hero is pretty much the easiest one, right? Worldwide, we all can identify the hero. Okay, now are all heroes perfect? Absolutely not. Then you have the ruler. Their strengths are order, stability, control, and tradition. Their setbacks are entitlement and greed. You know what entitlement means?
Like, I deserve this.
Yeah, I deserve it because I'm me, right? Their motto, power is not everything, it is the only thing. So they seek power. So these are the characters with power over others, either by use of law or emotion, right? So if they can emotionally control people, they are also considered a ruler. Their utmost desire is to have absolute control, right? These are your tyrants, those types of people, okay? Your wizard, okay? AKA the magician. So sometimes you'll see it referred to as the magician or the wizard. Their strength is surprise, intuition, and cleverness. Their setbacks are trickery and manipulation. There are powerful characters that can control universal forces, okay? So anything that has to do with magic, that type of stuff, they can be a wizard. Their utmost desire is to gain knowledge of how the world or universe works. So they're always seeking that knowledge. Your creator, their strengths is their imagination, thinks outside the box, and is a free spirit. Their setbacks are perfection, and they're very dramatic, right? This would be the Tristans of the world. Their motto, if it can be imagined, it can be created. They are a visionary character that creates things of value. So they're not just creating like random things. They're creating things that they think can be of value, okay? And then their utmost desire is to create something of enduring value. So think of the creator as almost like an innovator. Your scientist, those ones that are trying to create new things. Okay. Then you have your explorer. Miss Garcia would fit into this one. Strengths are independence, bravery, test the limits. Setbacks are self-indulgent and impulsivity. You know what that means?
Impulsive, like if I see something, do it now.
Yeah, they don't really think before they do. They're just like, I'm gonna go, right? So their motto would be, don't fence me in, I must be free. These are your free spirits, because they like to explore the unknown and go beyond the boundaries, right? These are the ones that if you were told that the earth was flat, you'd be like, no, let me go see, right? So their utmost desire is to have the freedom to find themselves by exploring the world. So they're searching the world, but they're also searching for new meanings for themselves, okay? Then you have the jester. His strength is humor, originality, and lightheartedness. Setbacks, cruelty, misunderstood, and often they are mistreated, right? Their motto, if I can't dance, I don't want to be part of it. So they're the fun characters. That's all they really want to do is have fun. The character that provides humor and comic relief mixed with occasional wisdom, right? It's always that kind of like, did he just drop some knowledge on me? And this goofball, right? That's your jester. Their utmost desire is to live in a moment filled with enjoyment. Now you have your rebel, AKA the outlaw. Their strengths are leadership, risk-taking, individuality, bravery, brute honesty. Setbacks, negativity, lawlessness, fanaticism. Their motto is rules. Rules are meant to be broken. A rebellious character that lives outside of society and its conventions. Their utmost desire is revenge or revolution. So let's think of the Hunger Games. Who would have been a rebel? Katniss, right? But Katniss could also fall into the category of the hero too, right? So here you have a rebel and a hero. So that shows that they can be two different things, okay? Your citizen. Their strengths are fairness, accountability, and they are a rule follower. Setbacks, their recklessness, and righteousness, right? You know what righteousness is?
This is right.
Yeah, right. Like I'm perfect because I follow the rules, right? But sometimes rules are wrong, right? So they tend to misunderstand that. So motto, equality for all men and women. They're the average character found in everyday life. So there's nothing really special about them. Sometimes they can be to the extreme, kind of like in Harry Potter. Yeah. Miss, what's her name? Umbridge?
Umbridge.
Yes, right? She followed rules to the extreme, and it was horrible. The citizen can also be called the everyman or regular guy, and their utmost desire is to connect with others, whether that be for good or bad, okay? Any questions so far? We good?
Yes.
Cool. The sage. These are some of my favorites. Okay, the sage, their strength is wisdom, clarity, advisor, thoughtfulness. Their setbacks, so they can often be disconnected, can come off as arrogant, and are sometimes passive, right? They provide the knowledge, but they may not, they themselves act upon it. Their motto is the truth shall set you free. They're often mentor characters who possess great wisdom or knowledge, and their utmost desire is to discover truth, okay? So we see these often, especially the mentors to heroes, right? Heroes normally are following somebody or getting advice from those people. The people they're getting advice from are the sages. Okay, your caregiver. Strengths are compassion, predictability, loyalty, empathy, and love. Setbacks is they can be arrogant and they have delusions of grandeur. You know what that means? If you have delusions of grandeur, you think you're more important than you really are. Okay? You're like, oh, I'm amazing. And everybody else is kind of like, you're okay. Right? So the motto is love others as you love yourself. These tend to be your supportive characters that often make sacrifices for others. And their utmost desire is to protect others from harm. So, okay, now you got your lover. Their strengths are loyal, team player, wants to belong, willingness to sacrifice for others. Their setbacks is they tend to lack their own identity. They can be jealous and they can have obsessions. Okay, I love this person so much, I'm going to do anything for them. So, the motto, love is in the air and I only have eyes for you. The character is guided by their emotions and passions of their heart. Their utmost desire to attain intimacy and experience emotional and physical pleasure. So they are guided strictly by their emotions, right? How many times have we seen movies or anything like that or read books where one character seems fine and then they become obsessed with somebody, right? They have to have them. Those are your lovers. Then the last one we have is your innocent. Their strengths are openness, trust, honesty, goodness. But their setbacks are naive, denial, and lack of fear. The motto is we are all free to be who we want to be. They are often childlike characters who embody morality and have pure intentions. Right? When we say pure, that's very childlike, right? I just want everything to be great. I want us all to get along, right? Those kind of overly optimistic characters. And their utmost desire is to experience paradise where everybody's happy and everything's great, right? And an example of this is the guy from Elf, right? He's older, he's an older guy, but he's very childlike, right? And all he wants is for Christmas, right? So those are those types of characters. Make sense? Okay. So any questions about the different types of archetypes?
No.
Okay. So now that you know what archetypes are and how you should be able to identify them, you're going to go ahead and put that into action. By doing the archetypes, I know what character you are assignment, okay? Because my thing is I can talk to you all day about what these archetypes are, but unless you can truly identify them, it doesn't matter, right? So let's look at what that assignment's going to look like. Again, you're going to have till Sunday to do it, but I want you working on it in class today and tomorrow. So the requirements, when is it due? Sunday by 11:59. You're going to be creating a PowerPoint. And what you need to do is think about the 12 different archetypes and create a PowerPoint that provides example of each archetype. So where do you find the examples? Honestly, anywhere. They can be pulled from books, TV shows, movies, anime, etc. Use the internet to your advantage. And I want you to think outside the box. I don't want you to go with the first one that you think of, right? I don't want everybody to give me Katniss, right? So think outside the box. So does that mean you have to have 12 different slides? No, because remember they can overlap. What I want is the 12 different archetypes represented, but you don't have to have 12 slides. I just want a minimum of 6, right? So in those 6, you can have characters that have 2 each, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm grading this a little different than normal. And this is where you really need to pay attention. This grade is going to be an all or nothing project. You either have everything that I asked for and get 100, or you get a 0. Because this is not just testing your archetype skills, but it's also testing your ability to follow the requirements and examples that I give you. Far too often, I lay everything out for you, and you guys are skipping over stuff. And you're like, I didn't know I needed that. But not only is it written, it's in the example I provide. So this is an all or nothing grade. It's all there, or it's a 0. Okay, and it is a summative. So the requirements, a minimum of 6 slides, but a maximum of 13. Your title is going to be, I know what character you are, and your MLA heading. From the slides 2 through 12, you need a picture of the character that you've chosen, the name of the character and where they appear, the archetype they represent, and an explanation of why the character fits the archetype. So here I also want you to make sure you reference and incorporate some of the information of the archetypes. Use the PowerPoint, Nearpod to your advantage. Once you complete the PowerPoint, you're going to save it as I know _ last name, first name. So it would be I know _ Garcia Andrea. And you're going to save it as a PDF because I'm tired of seeing wonky PowerPoints, okay? Save it as a PDF. You go under File, click Save As, choose PDF, and then you're going to submit it to the assignment that is in the Friday folder. So here's an example. Okay. That's kind of big. Okay. So it says archetypes. I know what character you are. This is an MLA heading. So use that. So for my first one, I have the lover, Oberyn from Game of Thrones. So the character, where he's from, the picture. The archetype is the lover. Oberyn is all about passion and pleasure, which makes him a good example of the lover type. He's also obsessed with getting revenge for his sister's death. I can take that and go look at the Nearpod and know that those match.
Did he get smashed by the mountain?
Yes, he did.
Wow, thanks, guys.
Okay.
I'm like season 4.
Oh, sorry. Well, now you know. Okay, so then we have Sam Tarly, Game of Thrones. Now he's one that has an overlap. He is the citizen, the caregiver, and an explorer. Because Sam is your average guy, which makes him a good example of a citizen. We all know a guy like Sam, right? Because he's clumsy, right? But he's super nice to his friends. Sam, however, is also a caregiver as he seeks to protect others from harm and has great compassion for people. But he's also considered an explorer because he also seeks to find himself through learning and exploring. Okay, so he, right there, I've hit 3. Now, then we have Joffrey Baratheon, also from Game of Thrones, a picture of the most hated character probably ever. Yes. I think that's the only character that's ever like truly died and everybody was happy, right? So the ruler, so Joffrey is a strong example of a ruler because he has emotional and physical power over his people, and he's also desires absolute power over everything. Okay.
That dude really regretted getting that role because now people hate him.
Yes, and he played it really well, right? So here's my jester. This is Chunk from the Goonies. Chunk is a good example of the jester archetype. He provides comedic relief for most of the movie, but also offers moment of wisdom, right? So how many times did he say, guys, this isn't a good idea? Hey, guys, this isn't a good idea, right? And they didn't listen. Then we have Data from the Goonies. He would definitely be a creator. He fits the creator archetype because he creates gadgets that turn out to be very valuable to his friends, and his utmost desire is to invent new things, right? And everything that he invents, he wants it to be useful. So he's a good example of that. So here I have another explorer and the sage, and this is Urahara from Bleach, right? Urahara is an explorer because he likes to explore the unknown and does not let boundaries stop him. But he's also a sage because he possesses great knowledge and is always seeking the truth. So that would be a good example. Then we have the hero and the rebel, which is Ichigo, also from Bleach. Ichigo is a hero protagonist of this anime and continuously proves himself worthy and courageous. He is also considered a rebel or an outlaw because he refuses to abide by the Soul Society's rules and he wants to change the way things are. Then I have my wizard from my favorite animated movie ever in life. But he's also, it's Merlin from The Sword in the Stone, but it's also from the book King Arthur and the Tales of King Arthur. So he's considered the wizard and the sage. So Merlin is a good example of the wizard or magician because he's able to control forces of the universe and is always trying to understand how the universe works. He's also a sage because he serves as a mentor to Arthur. So you see that I'm using a couple of them twice, but it's okay as long as I'm getting all 12 of them. Then I have my innocent and the hero. That's Arthur himself. Again, this picture is from The Sword in the Stone, but he also comes out in all of Tales of King Arthur and The Round Table, which are some of my favorite stories. So Arthur is a strong example of innocent because his intentions are pure. Especially when he's younger, he has pure intentions. He is also the hero because he is a protagonist of both the movie and the books and tales. And because he rises to the challenge of removing the sword from the stone. So pretty simple, yes? So remember, minimum of 6, max 13. You need to have the name of the character, where they're from, a picture of the character, what archetypes are they, and then an explanation. And if you notice, I pulled some of the descriptions directly from the Nearpod. Okay, any questions? All right, so you have the rest of this class period and tomorrow to work on it. And then you also have until Sunday. And if you have any questions, you need to ask, okay? But remember, it's an all or nothing grade, so you really want to make sure you go through those requirements and say, do I have everything? If you're not sure, ask me. Any questions? All right, so be free.
I have a question.